Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, we are still waiting for this market to find its bottom. Bitcoin currently trading just over $109,000. The chop continues. The pain continues, right? I know it's boring. I know it sucks. I know it feels like this bull market has lost its steam, but all the structures are still in place for the macro bull market. Because if you're looking at the hourly and the daily and even the weekly, you're going to see a lot of bearish things. But from the monthly and just the higher time frames, guys, everything is still intact. There has been no invalidation. And if there was, I'll be on here telling you this time is different. It's over. Pack it up. I don't know what happens next, but all the signals are there for this continuation, such as global liquidity. Once again, the moving averages and the structures, everything's still in place. Now, there could still be some more downside for Bitcoin, so anticipate that, right? That Bitcoin could go below 106,000 or whatever it may be, test some of those lows, and then rebound right back above the 200-day moving average, which is the bull market line in the sand. And when you look at the chart, by the way, I love this chart shared by the folks at Merlin Trader. You should check out their YouTube channel. This looks very much like a bullish retest like we've seen throughout the bull market, where we've had some very volatile moments where Bitcoin broke through that 200-day moving average. I mean, just look what happened earlier this year with the tariff crash, right? That was pretty brutal. And this is not as brutal, but yet the sentiment is so bad. And I think because of the time, the 4-year cycle, right? There's this like a psychological thing that's happening with a lot of people, and they haven't seen altcoins really move yet. And because we've seen that in the past, people are giving up hope. But I want to let you know, don't give up. We got to be non-emotional here and look at the data and much more. So again, patience is the key. We just got to let this thing play out. And I do think we could see, maybe the first half of November be a little bit rough and then things start picking up. But, I don't have a crystal ball, but based on the data, I'm still bullish on the macro here. Now, in the short term, though, like I said, some more pain because Jim Cramer today tweeted out, very discouraging close. Got to wait until Monday for a bounce. But what a month. Oh boy. Could we see Black Monday? Right? Inverse Cramer, guys. This guy, I tell you, he's been on a rampage lately. And I think he knows what's going on with the market and he's just out there just going nuts. But guys, look at this bullish news. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, he tweeted out today, 17 years after the white paper, the Bitcoin network is still operational and more resilient than ever. Bitcoin never shuts down. Senate Democrats could learn something from that. Now, he made it a bit political, but guys, this is the Treasury Secretary of the United States, and look at what he's tweeting out. This is so bullish, man. Incredible. And, we got a lot of big things on the horizon, like the crypto market structure bill, like the altcoin ETF approvals from the SEC. And we're going to talk a bit about that later. Plus, you got crypto companies looking to go public, in addition to traditional tech companies like OpenAI and much more looking to go public. So no one goes public when the market is topped and we're in a bear market, right? That's what people are saying. The market is top. We're in a bear market. No one goes and does an IPO or go public, right, guys? I mean, put your thinking cap on here. So this is a very bullish. And one thing he highlighted here is this is the 17th year anniversary of the white paper. So it's incredible how things have changed, right, folks? At one point, all these folks in these roles were attacking crypto. Now they're embracing it. Now, this episode is brought to you by VeChain, which is one of the top layer 1 enterprise blockchains out there in the crypto market. They're getting adoption from many brands and companies building Web3 technologies. And some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it's secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. Some of the brands working with VeChain includes Boston Consulting Group, BMW, Walmart China, Givenchy, PwC, and many more. And they are also partnered with Dana White in the UFC. And Dana White recently said he bought about $1 million in VET token. And VeChain recently launched staking via Stargate. I'm a VET token holder. I have been since 2018, so I'm bullish on this project. So if you'd like to learn more about VeChain, go to vechain.org. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, we continue to see updates to XRP ETF filings. Yesterday, we talked about Canary funds updating their version. And here we got news that Bitwise, they just updated their XRP ETF filing to include exchange, New York Stock Exchange, and a fee of 0.34%, which are typically the last boxes to check, amendment number 4. This is per Eric Balchunas, senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg. So I think it's clear the writings on the wall that the XRP ETFs are going to get approved. And some people are saying this could happen in November. So let's see what happens. I think it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, because you got the government shutdown. There has been some confusion as to what these filers can do, with their SEC's recent updates, but the government shutdown doesn't help, right? But nevertheless, it's coming, guys. We know the U.S. government's going to open up, and the SEC is going to approve these ETFs. So this is very big for XRP. There are also a bunch of other ETFs for Solana. So I believe those are going to get approved as well. We've been seeing a lot of updates from the filers there. So this is another milestone or landmark moment, which once again, are these things going live in the bear market after the market is top? Come on, guys. That would be a huge missed opportunity by the whales and market makers. So again, put your thinking cap on there. Now, we got some interesting news from Christine Lagarde of the European Central Bank, the ECB. And I'm going to play the video for you, but here's what they tweeted out with the video. The digital euro would complement banknotes and extend benefits of cash to the digital sphere. This is important because Euro cash brings us together. Europeans would have the freedom to use digital euro for any digital payment online or offline throughout the euro area. Let me play the clip for you.
Hello. I have good news for you on the digital euro front. Today, the Governing Council has decided to move ahead on the next and final phase of the preparatory work for the digital euro. The other good news is that on October 23rd, the European Council has asked us and all those involved to accelerate the process so that we can roll out the digital euro as early as possible. This is important because as much as banknotes will continue to circulate, we want cash to be in the form of digital euro as well, so that you can circulate banknotes and click cash with the digital euro. More work is going to be done in the next few months, and if we receive the approval by the European Parliament in the course of 26, we'll be able to pilot the digital euro as of 27. And if the pilot is conclusive and positive, it will be a formal rollout in the whole of Europe in 2029. This is a big project because the euro is our currency, your currency. It brings us together. It's a symbol of trust in our common destiny. So off we go with the digital euro in that next and final phase of the preparation.
So there you have it, folks. So they said the pilot's going to start in 2027 and then a formal rollout in 2029. Now, a couple of takeaways here. One, this is definitely your CBDC for at least Europe. So be careful, those of you who live in Europe. I'm sure they're going to monitor everything through this. And second, it's confirmation. Blockchain tech is the future. It's what I've been saying. The governments, the economies, and markets will all run on blockchain rails. So bullish on one hand, but also, we got to be vigilant, as I often state. I live in the United States, so I know here they have the Anti-CBDC Act. In Europe, I don't know what legislation's out there. So those of you who live in Europe, this is something to watch closely. But at least we have alternatives, right? You have Bitcoin, you have stable coins, and other things that you can move value if you don't want to use the digital euro. Now, Caitlin Long's crypto bank, Custodia Bank, loses appeal over the Fed master account. Now, this is not really a big issue because recently we heard from one of the Fed governors that they want to do a master account light for crypto companies. So I think it's kind of like a moot point that this got denied, but I think it's also clear that the Fed does not want to give crypto companies the same level of access that they would give, let's say, JP Morgan and the commercial banks, right? Because it's the banking cartel. They're not going to give away everything. But over time, crypto is going to win, and people are going to go with more of DeFi as the infrastructure gets built out. But this is something you should know about that this, unfortunately, they did not get the full master account, but I think they will get the light account, which we recently heard about. Final news item, Canaan's Japan deal marks the first state-linked Bitcoin mining project in the country. So Canaan inked a deal on Thursday to supply Bitcoin mining rigs to a major Japanese utility for a grid stability research project, making the country's first publicly disclosed state-linked mining initiative. Just the other day, we were talking about, I forgot the exact news item, but it was in a specific country that they were going to look, or the energy company was going to look at using excess and wasted energy to mine Bitcoin. So this is something I've been talking about for a long time. They're going to monetize the energy that's wasted or could be, or is excess. So this is very big for Bitcoin, and it's happening across the globe. So while Canaan did not identify the partner, the move follows earlier reports that Tokyo Electric Power Company, Japan's largest utility, had previously experimented with Bitcoin mining through a subsidiary using surplus renewable energy. Matthew Siegel, VanEck's head of digital assets, pointed out that all 10 of Japan's regional utilities have partial government ownership, meaning the new project effectively brings Bitcoin mining under state-aligned infrastructure for the first time in the country. Siegel noted that Canaan's announcement adds Japan to our list of countries mining Bitcoin with government resources, bringing the total global count to 11, excluding the United States. So, folks, you see the direction the puck's heading in here. This is why it's important to hold some Bitcoin in your portfolio. Bitcoin is the scarcest crypto asset in the market, and some people have very ideological, religious thoughts around these things, but I'm not emotionally connected to these assets. I'm looking at the opportunities. So even if you hold just a few $100s of Bitcoin, that's still better than having zeros. And what we've seen so far in this bull market, Bitcoin, we know it leads the market, it leads the altcoins. It has hit new highs. Many altcoins have not as yet. So this is why it's important to diversify and don't get caught up with conspiracy theories and feelings and emotions and nonsense, right? Look at this at how can I preserve my wealth, my purchasing power to protect myself against the debasement of currency. So Bitcoin is certainly something you want to have in your portfolio. And you don't once again, you don't have to hold an entire Bitcoin, just have some, because over time, because of its scarcity and what's being built around it, and governments and nation states buying it as a reserve, mining it, and much more, it will accrue in value. So you want to treat it as gold. If you have a gold bar, you're not walking around with that gold bar. You're not necessarily looking to trade it. You're holding it long term. And look, if you need to buy a house or you have an emergency, you have to liquidate it, you do that, right? That's the point. But you can hold on to this asset for a long time, and even if you don't use it, be handed down to your children, your relative, whatever it is, right? So you want to treat Bitcoin just like real gold. Obviously, it has more properties and benefits than gold, but again, make sure you have some Bitcoin in your portfolio. And that's why I've told you guys many times on this podcast, there's some Bitcoin I'm never selling. It's going to go to my daughter. It's on a hardware wallet, locked up and secure and all that jazz. Is there some I'm selling this cycle? Of course, right? Because I have plans to do things with that money, not just to hold fiat, but I want to put that money to work in different ways, better my life, pay off debt, help our family, do upgrades to my house, things like that, right? So clearly the direction is countries are going to mine, energy companies are going to mine as well. And the scarcity for Bitcoin is only going to increase with the amount of buying we're seeing from Wall Street firms and much more. Anyway, folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. Folks, if you appreciate the content, please subscribe to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free on Substack. Check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.